Salvete Discipuli, and welcome to week 7 of our distance learning. Okay, so if you have been directed here, you're probably a member of 3rd grade Latin. So this week what we're going to be doing is something a little bit different than what we've been doing in past weeks. In past weeks, we've kind of ended the week with a weekly quiz. Okay, this week we're going to be doing some review. And then at the end of the week, you're going to have to take a test. Okay, now before you freak out, don't freak out. Okay, I'm going to review everything that you need to know, and everything that you need to know for this test is going to be in the week 7 work packet. Okay, also just to make it easier, I've stopped using Roman numerals. I'm going to start typing out what week it is. Okay, so we'll use the English for that so we don't have any confusion on what we're doing. Okay, so this week what you need to do is you need to watch this YouTube video. You need to fill out the week 7 work packet with me while we watch the video, okay? Then you're going to have to submit pictures of the week 7 work packet. All right? Study. Okay? And then when you feel ready, you're going to have to take and submit the Unit 3 test. Now, I'll explain more about that later. Okay, but for now, let's just get through the review. All right, and as always, please continue to log your vocabulary study in your May flashcard calendar. Remember, I expect a minimum of 100 minutes by the end of May. All right, so you have a whole month to do it. Okay, a whole month to study for 100 minutes. That's not a lot of time. Okay, so please continue that. So without further ado, let's get on with our scheduled programming. Part A. All right, I'm going to review the Chapter 12 open book quiz that you guys took last week. Okay, and again, if there's anything here that you're not really sure about, you can always just shoot me an email or leave me a message on Google Classroom and I'll get back to you. Okay, so here we go. Number 1, define bonus, bona, bonum. Okay, that's good. Okay, remember this is an adjective. Okay. Number 2, malus, mala, malum, bad. Meh. 3, notus, nota, notum is known. Okay, a word to help you remember that. If something is notable, it's something that's worth knowing, something that's kind of understandable or known. Okay, and see how they're kind of related here? They look sort of similar, right? This is the Latin up here, and you've got the English derivative down here. Okay, so notable. Anyway, number 4, ignotus, ignota, ignotum. That is unknown. Okay, novus, nova, novum is new. Antiquus, antiqua, antiquum, that's old. Serenus, serena, serenum is calm, bright, or clear. Iratus, irata, iratum is angry. Laetus, laeta, laetum is happy. Miser, misera, miserum is miserable, miserable. You see how they look similar. All right, so that's an easy one for you. Creo, creare, creavi, creatum. Okay, that's a verb. Now remember, it's got 4 principal parts. Okay, and as we know, our verbs in definition are going to have 4 principal parts, so it's got to be one of these guys here. All right, so creo, creare, creavi, creatum is I create, to create, I created, created. Number 12, exploro, explorare, exploravi, exploratum is I explore, to explore, I explored, explored. Number 13, cogito, cogitare, cogitavi, cogitatum is I think, to think, I thought, thought. Muto, mutare, mutavi, mutatum. I change, to change, I changed, changed. Okay? Dubito, dubitare, dubitavi, dubitatum. I doubt, to doubt, I doubted, doubted. Magnus, magna, magnum. Okay, now, this is an adjective, and we know that because it's got 3 principal parts, I guess you can kind of call them. Okay, so magnus magnum is large or great. Okay, and again, here's another adjective because it's got 3 principal parts here. All right, so parvus, parva, parvum, small. Okay, so, David actually pointed out that I don't know if any of you Star Wars fans are out there, but a young Padawan. Okay, that might be a term you know. All right, it's almost similar looking to parvus, parva, parvum, ish. Okay, so you can remember parvus, parva, parvum is small, like a Padawan is small. Okay, parvus, Padawan, parvus, Padawan. Kind of see it, maybe? Eh. All right, but that was a cool thing I thought, and I figured I'd mention it here. So thanks, David. Awesome. That was cool. Next, verus, vera, verum is true. Okay, 19. Falsus, falsa, falsum is false. That one's pretty easy. Okay, dubius, dubia, dubium, all right, is doubtful. Okay, now remember, you know this verb here. Okay, I'll write it out. Dubito, dubitare, dubitavi, dubitatum. Okay, and that's kind of similar to this here. All right, we've got so this is our verb form here because we've got 4 principal parts, but remember the adjective, the adjective one has only 3, and that looks like dubius, dubia, dubium. Okay, there's 3 of them. So you see how they're similar, but they're kind of different? Okay, anyway, so 20, doubtful. 21. All right, now this one, to kind of help you with the answer, is you need to know the sentence pattern chant. Okay? Pattern A has a simple form. It's made with a verb and a subject noun. SNV, SNV. Pattern A has a simple form. Pattern B is a pattern of being. 2 nouns surround a small LV. SNLV, PRN, SNLV, PRN. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Pattern C is similar to B. A noun needs an adjective, don't you see? SNLV, PRA, SNLV, PRA. Pattern C is similar to B. Okay? So for all of these questions, if you know the pattern chant, you're golden. All right, you'll get that, no problem. All right, so practice your pattern chant even when I'm not, talking to you through YouTube. Okay, it's a good thing to know. And it'll come up next year as well in 4th grade Latin. All right, so moving on, number 24. A noun is not an action word. It's not a describing word. It's a person, place, thing, or idea. A verb is an action word. And an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So it's a describing word. Okay? Now, number 27. Blank verbs tell what the subject is doing. Okay, so if somebody's doing something, that's an action. As opposed to blank verbs that tell what the subject is. Okay, that's a linking verb. All right. Next, number 29. What is the label for a predicate nominative? Okay, and the answer for that was PRN. Okay, and number 30. What is the label for a predicate adjective? Okay, and the answer was PRA. Okay, so that was last week's quiz. The answers were in your notes, which we went over together in the video and in the work packet. Okay, so that's that. Any questions, comments, concerns, confusion? Just email me. Let me know what's going on. All right, let's talk about it. Totally fine. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you. Okay. Part B. All right, so now turn your attention to your week 7 work packet, please and thank you. You are going to fill out this speed test. So let's read these directions together real quick. Directions. Pause the video and fill in the endings below. When you've filled in all you can remember, press play and resume the video where we will go over the endings and chants together. Okay, so pause the video now, fill in what you can, and then when you're ready, we'll go over the answers, press play. All right, so pause, go. And welcome back. Sorry, that was a very loud drink of water. So let's go over the answers for our speed test. Okay? So these are the answers. If you need more time with the answers, you can always just pause the video and check your work. But when you're ready, press play and we're going to go over our chants together. Okay? So here we go. All right, so we're going to start with our noun endings chant. All right? And remember, they're the song ones. Okay? Now it sounds like a song. All right? And 5, 6, 7, and A, E, A, E, A, M. A, E, A, R, U, M. I, S, A, S, I, S, 2. Now the first declension's through. Now we're on to number 2. U, S, I, O, U, M, O, I, O, R, U, M, I, S, O, S, and I, S, 2. U, M, I, O, U, M, O, A, O, R, U, M, O, R, U, M, I, S, A, I, S. That's the neuter second declension. Wah, wah. Okay, so that was our noun endings chant. And when you are ready, we are going to move on to the verb endings chant. All right, and that's the conjugating Latin verbs one. Okay, and 5, 6, 7, and conjugating Latin verbs as easy as can be. O-S-T, M-U-S-T-I-S, and T, O-S-T, I-U, he, M-U-S, that means we. T-I-S is y'all and N-T they, hooray! Conjugating Latin verbs as easy as can be. O-S-T, M-U-S-T-I-S, and T. All right, that was a little squeaky there. Sorry. But, all right, so those are our chants that we need to know. Okay, and the last chant that we're going to go through today, which is going to help you on your test, all right, is the sentence patterns chant. Okay, now, if you filled them out like this, okay, just know, that's correct. I don't have the lyrics here on the screen, but please try and, say it with me. If you need to go back and look at the lyrics for the sentence pattern chant, you can go back to last week's notes, or, right, that was your week 6 packet. All right, you can find, here, I'll write it down so you see it. Excuse me, the sentence pattern chanty-poo can be found in the week 6, all right, that's VI, work packet. It can also be found in the week 5, that's V, work packet. Okay, so you can find the chant, the lyrics for that in these 2 work packets. Okay, and also I think now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should just put a little page on the 3rd grade website with the chants. So if you ever forget them, you can just visit the 3rd grade website and they're there for you. Okay, so anyway, if you're ready, we're going to do the sentence pattern chant. Okay, and that's what I did it a little earlier during the quiz. Okay, you know how this goes, so please sing it with me, or say it, I guess. Pattern A has a simple form. It's made with a verb and a subject noun. SNV, SNV. Pattern A has a simple form. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Two nouns surround a small LV. SNLV, PRN, SNLV, PRN. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Pattern C is similar to B. A noun needs an adjective, don't you see? SNLV, PRA. SNLV, PRA. Pattern C is similar to B. Yay, we did it. That was the chant. Woohoo. Okay, so those are our chants and our speed test. Okay, so study those, each week we're going to do this and we're going to keep practicing it. It's not going to go away. All right, and it's only going to help you, I promise. All right, trust me. Now we're going to move on to part C, okay? To help prepare for the Unit 3 test, which you're going to be taking at the end of this week, okay? Unit 3 is just chapters 11 and 12, okay? So you're going to need to know, I'll tell you more about it, but definitely this section here is going to help you to study for that. So if you know this vocabulary, all right, you're going to be just fine. All right, make sure that you know these vocabulary words though, okay? So what I'd like you to do, to read the directions, shall we? Because remember, directions, they might save your life one day. To help you review for this week's test, pause the video, match the following vocabulary from chapters 11 and 12, and then play the video and check your answers. Okay, so I'd like for you to pause the video now and go through and match. Okay, write the answers in these spaces here. Okay, and just keep in mind they're separated. All right, so these guys can only go with these guys, and these guys can only go with these guys. All right, so there's not going to be any like crossing anywhere. All right, so if you can, go ahead, give it a try, and when you're ready, we'll go over the answers together. All right, so off you go. And welcome back. Sorry, that was a very loud sip of water. I can't seem to sip my water quietly. Let's go over the answers for the vocabulary review. Okay, so I've filled them in for you. If you need more time with the screen and you need more time to check your answers, you can pause this video now and check them. All right, but if not, I'm not going to actually go over this because you should be studying this vocabulary on your own. You don't need Magistra Slade there for you to do that, okay? That's a very student-driven, that's a you thing, not a we thing, okay? Starts out as a we thing, like I teach you the words, but then you got to study them, all right? That's on you. Cool? Mm-hmm. So moving on. Oh yeah, okay, so if you need to pause, you can totally do that. But now what I'd like to do, the next part of your packet is going to be some grammar review. Okay, so we're going to review the grammar that we did for the past 2 weeks. All right, that's chapters 11 and 12. And it's broken up by section and grammar questions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like usual, I'm just going to review and read the grammar out loud to you. Okay, and while I'm doing that, see if you can fill in the answers to the grammar questions, okay? And those grammar questions are here. All right, so I'm going to read, and as I'm doing that, see if you can figure out what the answers are. Okay, adjectives. We've talked a bit about nouns and verbs so far. Remember, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. A verb is an action word. Now it's time to bring up a third part of speech, the adjective. Take a look at the chart at the beginning of the chapter, and you'll see that those endings look awfully familiar. Okay, and that's okay. We're not going to go back and look at the endings just now. Okay, that's because they're just like the noun endings that you've already learned. Aha! So now you see why we're not going to go back and look at the adjective endings, because they're the same as the chant that we did like 5 seconds ago. Yeah. All right. So why are the adjective endings so much like nouns? Nouns and adjectives go together like bread and butter, like peanut butter and jelly, like hot dogs and mustard. Adjectives, you see, describe or modify nouns. That is, they tell you more about them. If you were to say, for example, the tiny ball, the word ball is a noun and the word tiny is an adjective, telling you what kind of ball it is. Hey, it's not just any old ball, but a tiny one. That tells you something that you wouldn't know otherwise. In fact, all adjectives answer one of the three questions. What kind? Which one? Or how many? Try this sometime. Pick out any adjective and put it together with a noun, and ask yourself what question it answers. Here are some examples of the questions and answers. Okay, so number 1, he's a big boy. Right? What kind of boy is he? He is a big boy. Definitely not a small Padawan. Okay, or number 2, there are 2 horses. How many horses are there? Well, there are 2 horses, of course, not 3. Silly goose. Okay, so as I went through that, I hope you were able to spot a couple of the answers to the grammar questions in your work packet. But let's go through those together now. Okay, now similarly to the test, there's going to be a word box on the test. All right, so I'm going to show you a little trick on how to make sure that you are filling in the correct things. All right, you're going to have to kind of use your noodle and use process of elimination. Okay, I'm going to spell that out for you. Process of elimination. Okay, and that's pretty much just as you use each word, you're going to cross it out so that you know which ones you've used already. And then if you're not sure about one, you can kind of figure it out based on the ones you've already used. So let's go through now. Number 1, a noun is a blank, 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 or a blank. Okay, well, we know this from the reading. A noun is a person. Okay, so we've used person. Let's cross that off. A noun is a person. Place. All right, so we can cross that off. Thing. So we can cross that off as well. Or an idea. Right, so we're crossing them off as we're using them, right? Because each one's only going to be used once. Number 2, a verb is a blank, blank. What is it? Okay, this one's kind of easy because it's got 2 words in the answer, and this is it. A verb is an action word. All right, so see how I crossed it out already? We're on our way here. We've used a good amount of them. Okay, and now, all right, so you see how process of elimination works? All right, like let's say I'm not sure about number 3. Okay, so I'll go to number 4. I definitely know the answers to these, so I'm going to fill them in, and whatever's left should, in theory, be your answer. Okay, that's process of elimination. All right, so number 3, adjectives, blank or blank nouns. Okay, so adjectives, they either, well, the technical term is to modify. Okay, but what that really means is describe. All right, so we've used describe and we've used modify. Okay, so those go away. All right, number 4. The 3 questions an adjective asks are, I don't know why I didn't change that, I'm sorry. Okay, the 3 questions an adjective answers are, right? And look at that, process of elimination. There's 3 answers left, and those are probably the right ones because we've thought about all the other ones and we know them. Okay, so how many? Which one? Or what kind? All right, and just for good measure and for completion's sake, so we all feel, super satisfied, we're going to cross those out. Okay, so see how each word from the word box was used once in this whole exercise? All right, your test is going to be similar to that. Capiche? Alrighty. So if you're done filling in that section, we're going to move on to the next section of review called Adjectives and Agreement. Okay, so if you can find that in your work packet, same deal here. I'm going to read through this passage out loud for you, and while I'm doing that, I'd like you to fill in the missing answers if you can. Okay, then we're going to go over the grammar questions together. So here we go. Adjectives and agreement. Because nouns and adjectives go together, the adjectives match the nouns that they describe or modify. Okay, right? Remember, modify is the technical term for it. Okay. As a result, adjectives have to match the nouns they modify, there's that word again, in gender, number, and case. Ha! That means that they decline or list their forms very much like nouns do. Only one thing about them is different. While nouns have only one gender, adjectives have to be able to go together with any noun. Therefore, adjectives have versions for all three genders. That's why the word magnus is listed in your word list as magnus, magna, magnum. The first form, magnus, is a masculine form. The second, magna, is a feminine form. And the third, magnum, is a neuter form. So make sure that your adjectives always match up with the nouns they describe in gender, number, and case. Ha! Matching up like that in all three ways is called agreement, and it's very important. After all, your nouns and adjectives can't go together like your hand fits into a glove if they don't agree in gender, number, and case. All right, that's in the same way, Mr. Noun. This is Mr. Noun over here. Okay, and his friend, adjective, they can't go to a matching party if Mr. Noun does not agree with an orange shirt. All right, let's say adjective friend wants to wear a green shirt. Okay, that doesn't work. They're not matching. Okay, they have to match in all ways, gender, number, and case. Okay, so Mr. Noun and Mr. Adjective, they gotta match. They're buddies. Okay, so let's go over the grammar questions now. Number 1. Okay, and once again, here's your word box down here. Each answer is going to be used only once. All right, so here we go. And remember, process of elimination, we're going to cross them out as we use them so that we know which ones we've already used and we don't, get confused or anything like that. Okay, because that would be just a shame. That would stink. That would be stinky. All right, so number 1. Adjectives have to match the nouns they modify in blank, blank, and blank. Okay, well, from the reading, remember, adjectives have to match the nouns they modify in gender, number, and case. Ha. Gender, number, case, ha. Okay, so we've gotten rid of 3 options now. All right, and you see why it's kind of important to cross out the ones you've used already, because check it out. Gender is on here twice. All right, so that means it's 2 answers. All right, it's going to be an answer for one question. It's going to also be an answer for another question. Okay, number 2. While nouns have only one blank, adjectives have to be able to go together with any noun. All right, so Mr. Noun is super set on his outfit for the party, but Mr. Adjective can totally change his outfit so that he can match Mr. Noun. And so if nouns don't change, okay, nouns have only one gender. All right, and that's just the way that Latin kind of is, right? So the word for water, example, okay, aqua, aquae, that's always going to be feminine, all right? There's no really good reason. There's no real good reason why it's feminine. That's just the way the noun is, okay? Aqua, aquae, it's always going to be feminine. The word for battle, okay, proelium, proelii, Okay, that's always going to be neuter. All right, the word for sail, now let's do the one for wolf. Okay, the word wolf, lupus, lupi. Okay, that's going to be masculine. All right, no matter what, that's never going to change. Okay, but if I want to say the big water, or the large water, I would say magna. Okay, for battle, if I want to say the large battle, I'd say magnum. If I want to say the large wolf, I'd say magnus. Okay, so this word's changed each time just so it could match with the noun and its gender. Okay? So anyway, moving right along here. Let's get rid of that so we don't have to look at it. Re, he. Okay, number 3. In a Latin dictionary, an adjective is listed in the following order: magnos, magna, magnum. So which one comes first? Okay, first is magnus, US. Okay, that's masculine. So let's write that. The second form is magna. All right, that's feminine. All right, and then magnum, that's neuter. Okay, so let's cross that out. All right, and I am going to just go back real quick to show you how that works. Okay, so we're going to actually delete this right now. We don't need that. Hey, erase please. Thank you. Okay, so let's take a look now. All right, so our adjective is magnus, magna, magnum. We don't need this paper. Magnum. Okay, so let's look at the endings now. All right, magnus, magna, and magnum. Us, a, Now, where do you see a US ending in the nominative? Right here. Okay, and that's masculine. So this ending goes with this guy, right? It's masculine. All right, magna, where do you see that ending? Oh, it's right here. Okay, and that's feminine. So this ending goes right there. And magnum, all right, oh, there it is. Okay, and that's neuter. So this ending goes right here. All right? So the order they list them in, adjectives, always, it's going to be masculine first, feminine second, and then neuter third. Okay, so that's the order of the genders. All right. So anyway, back to the lab with what we were doing, because that is proper English. Okay. And last but not least, number 4. If a noun and an adjective match in gender, number, and case, it's called agreement. Yes, it is very agreeable that Mr. Noun and Mr. Adjective can go to the matchy-matchy party in matchy-matchy clothes. Okay? All right, they're in agreement that they're going to match. Okay, they match in gender, number, and case. All right, all 3 have to be matching. All right? So that's the next part of the thing. All right. Now please find the sections predicate adjectives and sentence patterns. Okay? This is the last portion of it, so hang in there, please. All right, so this one's a little bit longer than the last 2, so I'm just going to read through it. And as I do that, please see if you can find the answers, okay, to the grammar questions. All right, and remember, this is supposed to be reviewed. So you have seen this at least once before, if not twice, because of the quizzes. Okay, so here we go. Predicate adjectives. Remember when we learned about how linking verbs like sum, esse, fui, futurum can tie together 2 different nouns? Well, we can also use linking verbs to tie together the subject with an adjective. We would call that adjective, yep, you guessed it, the predicate adjective. For example, vir est bonus. Okay, the man is good. Okay, so you've got your subject here. This is your subject. It's the man. All right, est is your linking verb. Okay, and bonus, it's your adjective, okay? So it's describing it. You've got vir est bonus. You've got SN, LV, and bonus is an adjective, PRA. Okay, PRA. All right. Now, continuing forward, the sentence patterns. We've learned about 2 different types of sentences so far. The difference between those 2 types of sentences has to do with the different kinds of verbs they use. Do you remember what the 2 types of verbs are? Haven't you heard? There are 2 kinds of verbs, action verbs and the linking verbs. Action verbs tell what the subject is doing, while a linking verb tells you what the subject is. The different kinds of verbs lead to different sentence patterns, and so far we've had 2 of them. You need to start learning to give the parts of these sentences different labels so you can keep them straight. The first type of sentence requires just a subject and an action verb. When we label the parts of that kind of sentence, we only need to label the subject with SN, for subject noun, and the verb with V. Okay, so that's pattern A we're talking about. All right, because you've got your SN, which is we're, and introt, which is a verb. Okay, that's an action verb. Okay, the man enters. All right, it's telling you what the subject is doing. The second kind of sentence needs to be labeled with an SN too, but the verb should be labeled LV to remind us that it is in fact a linking verb. Okay, so let's go through that now. All right, they're talking here about pattern B. Okay, remember pattern B is a pattern of being and 2 nouns surround a small LV. Okay, SN, LV, PRN. Okay, and in this sentence, remember, it's telling you, a linking verb, all right? It tells you what the subject is. Okay, so here the sentence is telling you that the man is, what is he? He's a teacher. Okay? And finally, we should also label the predicate nominative with PRN, and the predicate adjective with PRA. Okay, so there are 2 kinds, all right? Remember, pattern C is very similar to pattern B, except here, instead of a PRN, you've got a PRA, a predicate adjective. Okay, SN, LV, PRA. Okay, and remember, same thing here. The SN is the man is, what is he? Bonus. The man is good. Okay, he's telling you, what kind of man he is. He's a good man, right? The man is good. Okay, so to kind of help you with that, you need to know your sentence pattern chant. But we did that twice already in this lesson, and if you need more review on it, go back and check your notes. Okay, so let's go through now, and remember, your word box is down here, and each answer is going to only be used once. So as we did before, we're going to cross them out as we go. All right, number 1. There are 2 types of verbs, blank verbs and blank verbs. Well, that's easy. We know this one. Okay, that's action verbs and linking verbs. All right, so let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. We've used those. Nice. Okay, number 2. Action verbs tell what the subject is doing. Right? Like if the teacher the teacher laughs, right? Teacher laughs, okay? It's telling you what she's doing. She's laughing. Okay, that's an action verb. All right, which is different from linking verbs. Number 3. Linking verbs tell blank. Okay, it simply tells you what the subject is. All right, so the teacher is happy, or the teacher is a lady. The teacher is a clown. Okay, So those, it's telling you what the teacher is. She's happy, she's a lady, but she's also a clown, okay? It's telling you what she is. Okay, number 4. Linking verbs can link predicate blanks and predicate blanks. Okay, remember, there are 2 types of predicates in Latin. All right, there are predicate nominatives and there are predicate adjectives. All right, so let's cross that out and cross that out. All right, finally, number 5. The abbreviation for predicate nominative is PRN, naturally. And the abbreviation for predicate adjective is PRA. Okay, so that's, cross those out, done. All right, now sentence patterns. Here we go with the chant, sort of. Pattern A has a simple form. It's made with a verb and a subject noun. All right, so let's cross those out. Okay, SNV, SNV. Pattern A has a simple form. Okay, number 2. Pattern B is a pattern of being. 2 nouns surround a small LV. Okay, so let's get rid of that. SNLVPRN, SNLVPRN. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Okay, and finally, number 3. Pattern C is similar to B. A noun needs an adjective, don't you see? Okay, SNLVPRA, SNLVPRA. Pattern C is similar to B. E. Okay, so those are your answers, and notice that we used all the answers in the word box here, okay? Everything was used only once. All right, so that was that process of elimination we talked about earlier, right? We kind of go along and check off the ones that we absolutely know, and if we're not sure, we go back and we take an educated guess if we're not sure. All right, so that's Test Taking 101 with Miss Slade. Nice. All right, so that was part D. Now, part E is going to be kind of review like this. It's a crossword challenge. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video, go through the crossword challenge if you can. All right. The answer is in this video. So if you're, stuck on something or you need help, you can either go back to your notes, which is where the answers are, what we just did, or you can, fill in as much as you can, and then when you need the answers, you can continue to play the video. So go ahead now, pause the video, do this crossword challenge, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so now that you've finished your crossword challenge, let's give you the answers so you can check your work. Okay, this one was a little bit tricky, but if you're not sure about anything, okay, all of these answers can be found in this week's notes, it can be found in last week's notes, and it can be found in even the previous week's notes. All right, so there are 3 places you can find that. These are the answers. If you have any questions, just ask, but should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so if you need more time on the screen, pause the video now. If not, I'm going to move right ahead and tell you what you need to do for the rest of the week. Okay, so right now what we've done, we've watched the YouTube video, okay, that's this week. You filled out the week 7 work packet with Magistra. Sweet. Now what you need to do is you need to take pictures and submit the week 7 work packet so that I know you've completed your study. This is your study guide, okay? This week packet is your study guide, all right? Because this week you also, instead of an end of the week quiz, you have to take a test, all right? It's called the Unit 3 test, but the Unit 3 test is pretty much just, okay, it includes chapters 11, and 12. Okay? So if you study this week's work packet, you'll be absolutely fine. Okay? And as a reminder, just continue to study your vocabulary and fill in your May flashcard calendar. Okay? I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well. And I hope your families are doing well. I hope you guys are getting some fresh air. If you have any questions or you need help with anything, just email me, have your parent email me, whatever. Okay? So I'll talk to you soon. Good luck with your studying and good luck on your test. You guys will be absolutely fine. Okay? So don't freak out. It's a closed notes test, so you can't use your notes. You're going to sit down and you're going to just take it. Okay? But take your time with it. Take as much time as you need. All right? So be sure to study the week 7 work packet and you'll be just fine. Okay? All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Later, Skippily.